Bro, you should hear some of the shit we've been doing to the audio book, bro.
Really?
Dog, we came across this sound, bro. It sounded like Sicario. You know, it does that like big ass horn. It's all.
Did you use it?
Fuck yeah, we're using that.
How far
shit.
are you guys almost done or what?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, like all the vocals are done. All the more or less all the sound like design is in. It's mixing and then like little spice.
The little
here and there.
sprinklies.
Yeah.
The little fine tuning that Jay does whenever it's fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah. Well, apparently
you get the mix back and you're like, oh, okay, all
You're
right.
still working.
Yeah. Nah, was it you filming back there, Dom? It's funny because when me and Jay first worked on Supernova back in like, what was it, Jay? 2011?
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So I had like, Q had passed away. And I was kind of floating around out here trying to figure out where I was going to record. Because like I said before, we didn't really have studios out here, dog.
Right.
Like, especially studios that wanted to record hip hop. They were worried that they were going to get fucking shot up.
Come in there.
Yeah, we were going to come in hot, right? Yeah. So I was kind of bouncing around. I recorded a couple things over when Fat Fish had their studio that was cracking. And I was just trying to find like my home. I was trying to find my home. I was lost out here. But I bounced around from a couple of studios and I just hadn't found like the place yet, dog. And me and my big bro TZ, bro, like we were out living in Vegas at the time, and me and him had always talked about working on music, and I was obviously still working on music, but I just didn't have a place to sit and record with a producer. That was like that's how me and Q worked.
Yeah.
So I needed to find that. And TZ was always telling me, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I record with my dude Jay, and you know, we're out there in Vegas, and you know, people say a lot of shit when you're out there in Vegas, dog. So I didn't know if TZ was recording with someone named Jay, or we had been up for a week, so he had imagined Jay. I'd heard TZ's music, so I knew he was recording somewhere, dog. Yeah, so I came back home before TZ did, and I was like, hey, dog, I need a place, I need a home to record at. As I told you, motherfucker, hit up Jay. I'm like, all right, well, motherfucker, what's his number? Yeah. So he threw me his digits, boom, I hit Jay up, and obviously rest history. But when we started working, you never really know, dog. Like, you could get into a studio with a producer and y'all don't vibe at all. Yeah, you know what I mean? Completely different ideologies, complete different ways of being creative. But luckily, when me and Jay sat down, dog, it was like instant. Like, it just clicked. We recorded fucking like 2 songs in like one day. I had one that was already like kind of prepared with a beat that I brought in, and then Jay started showing me some of his beats, right? Very long-winded story to get to this specific point. When we recorded it, I had like, okay, we laid this down, and when I would record with Q, you know, the song was the song. He'd mix it there, and you'd go with what you had.
Yeah.
With Jay, since like, you know what I'm saying, Q lived in the studio too, but Q was older. He didn't really understand where hip hop was going. He didn't grow up on hip hop, you know what I mean? And Jay did. So there was a fucking huge difference, because you leave the studio and, you know, we started setting up to where I was like on weekly sessions. So I'd record a record and then I'd come back and I wouldn't even think about the song, and I'd come back and they're like, oh shit!
Sounds different.
Jay added his own little sauce to the situation that I didn't think of before, and that's how I knew. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely gonna work. Yeah. Because it didn't make the song different. It made the song better.
It enhances.
It enhanced moments in the record that you wouldn't have thought of before, with like a drop or like a change in pitch. What a producer's supposed to do, right? They're supposed to hear and see stuff that maybe the artist doesn't hear and see. Yeah. You know, and some producers, they produce as the artist is going, right? Like, nah, maybe you should do this. And Jay does that too, but I think a lot of times with Jay, like, you record something and then he'll be in there, you know what I'm saying, in his Einstein...
Tweaking it,
you know what I mean? And hear something at like 2 a.m. that I didn't even hear. Yeah. And he'd come back and like, oh shit, yeah, that's it right there for sure, bro. So I know what you're saying. Yeah. Working on the audiobook, you probably come back and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like that last conversation we were having. He was like, have you ever seen, you know, this movie? And I was like, yeah, but I don't remember this specific thing that you're talking about. He was like, oh, bro, watch this. And he starts doing it. And he was like, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. And he's just figuring it out while he's talking about it. And sends me a link later, and he's just like, all right, I got some ideas. And I'm like, cool. As soon as I get back, I know that it's going to be like in different spots. And like everything that we were talking about, enhancing the experience. That's the point. So that's
especially with an audio book, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep, I'm assuming, well, I'm just going to get this out the way right away. I've never listened to an audiobook.
Really?
Never.
Okay.
I'm old school with it.
I hope mine's the first.
I like to fill the pages. It will be, for sure. It definitely will be. I've never listened to an audiobook, so I'm assuming you want to keep the listener entertained and engaged a little more than like you can in a book, right?
Yeah.
So it's not technically a movie. It's not technically a song, but you want to have sound effects and stuff like that. I'm assuming, right?
Here's the thing. That's not always the case.
Really?
Sometimes it's dry. I think it depends on the content. When you're dealing in fiction, think of like the Biggie record. What's the one where he's the hotel robbery?
Scene.
Yeah. Like that one, or even Warning. Like they added a bunch of shit to like turn that into a feeling where you feel like you're actually there and you're experiencing, you're moving through these places. That's what we want people to experience in the audiobook. When you're dealing in fiction, I think it's easier to have those ideas when it's just, like how to build your business in 60 days or something like that. It's going to be dry and, you know, maybe a little music or something like that. But even then, a lot of times it's just someone reading and nothing else. So getting it, like we have aspirations in the future to do other versions of other books and stuff with full cast and really build it out, so it's just this close to having a movie experience, but
it's not visual, it's all audio,
right? And the idea obviously is to build the audience so we can get to the point where we're making
of an actual movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, all great books end up being sometimes good movies.
Well,
I can't say all great books are great movies, dog, because they sometimes the source material does not translate.
Yeah.
No, but man, his books are really dope.
Oh yeah,
and I write them with
ATL
movies in mind.
Yeah.
Bro,
like
and see, that's why I'm like thinking about it, because I've read them, right? And I've never listened to an audio book.
Yeah.
I feel I'm like obviously completely out of pocket, but I feel like for me, the way that I digest the material, if I'm reading it and I'm like touching it in like a physical book and I'm turning the pages, I feel like it's absorbing more, right, in my brain, my subconscious. I could be completely wrong, because they tell you they have those like audio things that you like listen to while you're asleep. To reprogram your subconscious. So I'm probably completely full of shit. But I feel like when I'm reading a book, it sticks more because I'm reading it. So I think that's why I've never really listened to an audiobook.
Okay. Yeah.
So yours is gonna be the first one.
Nice.
Hell yeah! It's like a fine line too, because like there's so much going on like in this book, in the audio book, but like behind it. So it's like you don't want to just be able to only hear the fucking bus or the street sounds, and then it drowns out the narration, and vice versa, because then it's like, well, what the hell was that noise in the back taking away from the narration?
So is it hard? Like, what? This is your first one that you've mixed. Well, I mean, you guys have been working on a couple of them, but like, what's been the biggest difference from mixing music to doing an audiobook?
Bro, organization. Organization, because it's such it's a big session, bro. There's probably an easy 120 tracks, maybe.
Damn, Pro Tools probably fucking hates you right now.
Yeah, dog. My computer's a beast though, so it could hold it. But yeah, dog. So it's like 250 minutes long. So it's like, and then there's all these tracks, and it's just like tiny little door closes and shit like that. So it's like I had to color coordinate all that.
Because if you move something, you fuck up just a couple of those tracks, whole shit's completely unorganized. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare, dog. Yeah. Again, one of the reasons I had no aspirations to be any kind of producer, engineer, or any of that shit.
Right, I fucking quit. What am I doing?
Fuck this shit, bro. Damn, you inspired me to quit. I'm leaving. But that's a lot of work, bro. I don't think your average listener and your consumer, they just obviously don't get it. I mean, no one really wants to see how the sauce is made. Yeah. They just want to enjoy the sauce. Yeah. Man, if you got to see how the sauce is made, shit, man, you're lucky that shit's even made.
Have you ever seen the way they do the sound effects for like the Transformers movies? Bro, they're literally the behind the scenes of that is they're literally in like a junkyard. Some dude, he's all rigged up, and he has this big metal pole and he's just banging shit, boom, 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 and then he'll just scrape shit and it's all
to get the sound.
And then the next thing, but then they just layer it. So there's that, and then there's all this shit, and then it turns into the fucking transforming
Optimus Prime Autobots.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking crazy, dog. It's really dope to see.
I've always thought about that with like artists that use a lot of sound effects, right?
Yeah.
And early M is a good example of that. He was always using sound effects like that. And then skits, right? So when you're making skits in a record, you got the door slamming. Like I always wanted to be in the sessions to see those skits. Like how did they get like that vibe? Because when you're acting, even if you're doing like voiceovers, like you're seeing the character that you're being. If it's a cartoon, you're watching them interact, so you're interacting with them. You're doing a skit in a record, like those big skits. I've done skits in mine too, so I kind of like know how it's done. Like you got to kind of act it out in the moment there. But that, like specifically the one on the Eminem show. Remember whenever he fucking he tracks down Kim and she's kissing that bouncer, and you hear him in the car with his homie, and you hear him running at the bouncer, and you hear him like fucking start pistol. Like how the fuck? What was the process to get that? That's always to me interesting, and I know nowadays you don't really have skits like that on records. No, they're not made like that anymore.
No. Well, I think that's part of that is the consumer is so used to singles. Yeah. So getting people to sit down for that full album experience is different. I'm sure someone's going to come along and figure out a way. I mean, I know Beyonce like releases her albums as visual like movies and shit now. So she's doing something like a step beyond what I think other people are going to get into. But at some point, I think that whole full album experience and
you think it'll come back?
Yeah, Janelle Monáe did it. There's a few people out there who are like turning like their albums into like short films and shit like that.
Well, what about Jay-Z? Remember that? The Streets is Watching? Did you guys ever see that?
Yeah. He was doing it
back
too.
On VHS.
Yeah, back in the day.
444 is a whole experience. Yeah. There's not really any skits or anything on it, but it's a whole body of work, right? It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a reason for existing, right? So, and it's funny because that makes me think about what Lil Wayne said the other day when they were talking about he was sitting down with was it Ty Dolla? No, it was Tyga. They were he was interviewing Tyga on his podcast, and they were talking about how Andre 3K talked about how he's 48. Why the fuck would he be rapping at 48? Because he doesn't got nothing to talk about. He's like, what do you guys? You want to hear me talk about going to get a colonoscopy, right? And Wayne was like, that was depressing to me, coming from somebody that I hold in such high regard. He's like, because I'm fucking knocking on 40's door, and I have so much shit to talk about.
Right.
It's interesting because Jay-Z was 48, 47 when he dropped 444.
Yeah.
Dog, that's top tier fucking rapping right there, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you $1 million a game for $9.99.
Yep.
Come on, bro. So I agree with Wayne. Like, but in the same breath, if you're not ready, if Andre doesn't have nothing to say, then you fucking can't force him to fucking have something to say, dog. Yeah. If he feels that way. But I feel like if you get removed and you're not in the process, constantly creating, you're not making music, you're not making songs, you're not writing verses, you get rusty, dog. Yeah. You start falling away from it.
So hot take, Johnny James thinks Andre 3K is rusty.
Hey, shit, bro, throws me right under the fucking, right underneath the radios, bro.
That's funny.
I think he thinks he might be.
That I will agree with. And you know what? While you were talking, I was thinking that part of the difference between a Jay-Z, a Wayne, and a 3K is Andre is a far more private person. He, like, Erykah Badu was the last person you really heard of him dating.
Yeah.
And, they had a child and, like they had a whole life. And that was even before internet, like the way it is now. Wayne, we've seen him with ladies here and there. Jay-Z, obviously, with his wife.
Well, they've always been in the forefront.
Right, exactly. But that's always been a part of who they are and who how they present it.
Being present in the media.
Yeah. Like he wanted, and I think he prefers to be a more private person. So that constrains what he wants to talk about because he doesn't want people necessarily speculating on his life that way.
Well, and I mean, he produced his new album, like that's him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had like band members that he brought in. Yeah. So like creatively, he's still creating, but maybe like he's focusing more on on the production end, to where it's like he doesn't feel as strong on the writing end. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your focus changes, dog. Like you're not always just gonna want to do one thing.
But see, what he said though was, no one wants to hear what I got to talk about at 48.
He's wrong
and I
about
think
that.
that's
He's
wrong.
wrong about
Yeah,
it. Wrong.
see, that's
Like
where I
that-
stand on it.
Yeah, speaking for me.
Yeah, like nah, bro,
I'll listen
fuck
to
that.
anything
Dog,
he's gotta say however
and
he
it's
wants to
it's
say it.
we've said this fucking 5 million times. I feel like it's only in hip hop where this is even a thing, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'd rather hear him talk. I'd rather hear what a 48-year-old person has to say than all these young fucks talking about ops and.
Who brought the
baby
old guy
mamas.
to the
Like,
party?
I'm just being straight up. Like
No, I feel
that
you.
shit's. I'm
Yeah,
done
but see,
with that
that's the
shit.
thing though, dog, is that's for certain age groups, bro, right? So all these artists that we grew up with, they're growing older,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
As-
I would like to grow older with their music
Yes.
growing older,
Yes.
because I have a different perspective now, right?
Yes.
I do. When I was fucking 18, yeah, dog, we fucking riding on ops, bitch. I'm about to fuck all these broads, right? That's where my mentality was,
Yeah.
right? I'm about to sell all these drugs. I'm about to fuck all these bitches. I'm gonna ride on all these ops.
Yeah.
I'm 38, my dude. If that's still my mentality, something went seriously wrong.
Right.
Wasted
right.
some time.
Wasted a lot of time. And I'm probably raising some little fuckheads, bro, realistically.
Right.
So for me, as a fan of everything that 3K does,
Yeah.
he is wrong. Because, yeah, bro, we do want to hear what you're going through right now. We do want to hear what it sounds like to be 48 years old and Andre 3000.
Yeah.
So I get what Wayne's saying. And it for me, I'm like, why is our genre the only one that fucking does that? Because I always use Johnny Cash as an example of this.
Yeah.
Because I feel his best music was made with Rick Rubin in his later years.
Yeah.
He was in his 60s, 70s doing the American recording sessions with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Dog, what if we would have never got hurt by Johnny Cash? If he would have said, you know what? I'm 48.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
I don't
to hear
know.
me.
Yeah,
Wants to
nobody
hear
wants to
me.
hear me doing a
Yeah.
cover.
But we
of
got
9
hurt,
Inch.
and that,
Yeah.
bro, fuck.
Yeah.
He completely.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Trent Reznor because he took that
He
song
ate
away
that
from
song.
him.
Yeah, he Luther
It's
Vandross that
his.
record off of
completely, dog.
Snatched it.
Yeah, so much so that you probably have youngsters that are like, who the fuck took this Johnny Cash song when they
Yeah.
hear the original?
Yep.
I feel like hip hop is in that state right now to where we are seeing what it looks like to age on the mic and what you can do,
It's
right?
the first time, though.
Because
Yeah.
it's still so fucking new,
young,
dog.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Wayne, look at Wayne, bro. Like Wayne's like a year older than me. Wayne's like 39. Wayne's like 40. He's like right there, something like that. He's still in his bag.
Yeah.
He's still razor fucking sharp, which is wild because look how many records he's dropped.
Yeah.
If you count the mixtape, I would like to know the number of verses Lil Wayne has actually recorded.
I love the interviews where people recite Wayne's lyrics back to him, and he's like,
He don't
"I said
even
that
remember.
shit."
That shit cold.
Like, I'm cold, dog.
Yeah, I seen his podcast where he's talking to Eminem, and he goes to like Google and he types in like Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
and then he has like this page that comes up, Lil Wayne lyrics, and then
Yeah.
that way he could see if he's already said
Said
something.
Make sure he doesn't
Yeah.
say it again.
And Eminem's
Yeah.
like, dude, I do the same fucking thing.
And those type of rappers have to though.
Yeah.
man. Like
Oh, yeah.
they're just so dense with
Yeah,
their
yeah.
with their music, man. Like they say so much. But going back to what you were saying, like why hip hop specifically does that, I think, and this is just my own speculation, I think because it still is the only genre that has the potential of crossing generational lines easily, and that makes it probably the most dangerous type of content to put out. Dangerous meaning like changing social structures.
On people's perspectives.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Because there's still, you know, hip hop in other countries, and our hip hop here in the States goes all over the world.
Yep.
And it could be something that you say in your bedroom, you know, making and mixing your own record that affects someone thousands of miles away, their mentality, the way they're looking at their world. And that makes it something where it's like, if I were the controllers, put it that way,
Yeah.
of that genre of music, I keep the clamps on it and be like, well, no, we don't want to hear you as you get older, because as you get older, you get more wise.
They can't
and
control you.
And
They
yeah,
can.
well, Or they can just shuffle you on out and say, hey, your time's come, and we don't want to hear anything. So now all the lessons that you've learned, it's harder for you to translate that wisdom to the next generation.
Yeah.
So it makes it that much harder to like grow that group of people that listen to hip hop. And hip hop has the ears of the youth.
100%.
And it's growing and growing where it's not just the ears of the youth, it's the ears of the 40, 50, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds now. So it's like that cross-generational concept doesn't exist in any other type of music unless you have like a real strong, like, my dad listened to these records and now I listen to these records and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and I completely agree, for one. For two, hip-hop is a genre of music that, you know, affects the streets, right? It started there.
Yeah.
It's a genre of music that was at the foundational pieces. When it started popping, it was about change, right?
Yeah.
It was about social injustices and like all that type of stuff. So that's still at the foundational pieces.
Right.
It has a direct line to the streets and the youth if they're listening.
Yeah.
So I agree with you in the aspects of the people that control it, record execs or whoever the fuck you want to call it. They don't want a 35-year-old intelligent person that's been through it, had a bunch of different record deals, knows the business, sitting there telling these 18, 17, 22-year-olds, nah, fuck that. Don't sign that. They're gonna fuck you over. So I feel like the people that are in charge have pushed this narrative of hip-hop's a young man's game.
Right.
Because, bro, if I got a record deal when I was 17, fresh off the streets, I wouldn't have known a goddamn thing. I'd have signed everything. I would have took the money, not known shit, because I didn't know shit. You get these youngsters that don't know shit. You get them to sign. You give them some money,
and you
give them some attention.
Control them.
100%. You own the masters. You give them attention. You give them money. What the fuck you think they're gonna do? Let me sign it away.
You put them in debt.
You put them in debt, so you control them always, no matter what. So they got to come back and ask you for this and ask you for that.
Their name, they don't own their face, they don't own
shit. They don't own shit. So then they're stuck in this perpetual fucking clusterfuck of a situation, and they can't get out of it. So I feel like the people that are in charge, they want to push that narrative and get the ones that have been through it out the door, so they can't have a voice, and no one wants to listen to them because they actually got some shit to say.
Right, exactly.
And it's so new and so fresh that our OGs are still young enough to like actually get that message across. So for me, I do want to hear what Rakim has to say now. I don't know how fucking old Rakim is right now, but
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
DOC is coming out with an album, and I want to hear it.
What he has to
he ain't been
say.
able to talk for years.
Man. I want to hear it.
He's finally got his voice back.
You're gonna hear that age and that fucking anger and that pain. Come on, and that's the shit that they're scared of. I agree. So on that note, bro, I think it's time to intro this motherfucker. We went in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Don't get us started on music.
You are now tuned in to Respect Connect. I'm your host, Johnny James. I'm here with a few of my nearest and dearest. J. Travis in the building. What's popping, Jay?
Chilling, brother. What's up with you? How you
Chilling.
doing?
Hey, man, I'm living.
Fucking nice.
Len Words is in the building. What's popping, Len Words?
What's popping is the little bubbles in the packaging from all your Christmas gifts coming from Amazon.
Yeah, here we go. Shout out to Bezos. Production on the other side. We in focus. We sound good. Let's get it. Episode 46 makes some motherfucking noise, Jay. Hey, let's get it. So since we're on music, let's continue the topic. Everybody's posting their Spotify Wrapped numbers. And all I gotta say is, don't fucking matter, my dude. It don't matter. Because Jay-Z did say, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. But listen, those Spotify numbers, they can fucking lie, my dude. You can buy them shits. So all my artists out there, if you are basing how you feel about your art off of somebody that has 1 million streams this year and you only got 10,000, do not do that. It's not about that. Because say they do have 1 million, right? I got 1 million streams. Can you fill up a venue? Will people come and watch you spit
Yep.
That's another fucking measuring stick.
Yep.
True.
Spotify numbers, any of those numbers, those are vanity metrics,
Can I
right?
can I add a caveat to that?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Yes, vanity metrics beyond a certain level, but there is a value to it when you're growing your audience. So when you're just figuring your shit out and trying to find people, you could say, hey, because there's somebody out there who has 1,000 listeners that went up to 2K or 20K or something like that. That's a big jump. That's to be applauded. And you'd be like, look, I'm reaching people. People care.
I agree.
Once you get to a certain point where it's like there's so many numbers there, it's like, I don't know 1 million people. So chances are those aren't the same value of a relationship as the 10,000 people, the first 10,000 or the first 20,000 people that start getting with your music. Because those are probably the real fans.
Completely agree. My issue with the DSP numbers, the Spotify numbers, and all those numbers is I've seen those bot farms out in fucking like Malaysia and shit where they have people just streaming 2 seconds of stuff.
But you know what? Those you don't even get paid off of those.
You don't, but it doesn't.
You don't get paid off of.
Shit, you don't even get paid off of real fucking streams,
yeah,
bro.
For real. But even those if you're paying for plays on Spotify and shit, you don't. It doesn't hit your account like
That's my
like
point.
you want.
So what the fuck? So that's what I'm saying. I feel like those fudged numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, I said fudged. Never used that before.
Whoa!
Fuck.
Did he just edit himself?
I said fudged, fellas. It's fudging.
goodness.
It's fudging fact in here.
Let's see that.
Those numbers are skewed, right? Not all of them. I'm not saying
Yeah,
everybody's out here buying numbers. Don't get
Right.
that twisted either,
Right.
because they're not.
Yeah.
But for some artists that are, right?
Yeah.
They get that end of the year and they're like, boom, they put it out. And everybody's like, oh,
Right.
shit, he had 5 listeners. Now this motherfucker got 5 million. They're
Right.
listening to him in fucking Zimbabwe.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are vanity numbers. They don't matter. They're not doing anything for your growth as an artist
Right.
because they're not. They're just there to boost they'll give you that kick of dopamine,
Right.
kick your ego up a little bit. And then what happens? When you know you got to go to sleep like, damn, my listeners
That's
really
fake.
are only like
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
And now everybody thinks I'm at 1 million and it's just not real.
But then you could see it though. Like one song has like 10,000 listens. The next song has 54 plays.
Yeah, see,
You know what
and
I'm
that's what I
saying?
mean. I feel like
You
it's
could see that shit.
It's
Yeah, the data will
dangerous.
show it.
It's dangerous for artists that are coming up now because everything is about attention and it's about clout now on the internet, right? So
Unfortunately.
you could, unfortunately. So say you're fucking the next Tupac, right? And you're putting out some of the best music that's not being heard. And you have this other motherfucker out here that is, I don't know, fucking Vanilla Ice or some shit. No disrespect to Vanilla Ice fans, just not really my cup of tea, right? Can't really compare Pac and Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Different.
But say this Vanilla Ice guy that's next to you has 1 million streams and your record has fucking 10. It's going to be very, very, very difficult to keep your consistency, to keep your motivation if you're measuring your success based off those vanity numbers.
Gotcha. And that's why I say caveat, only you, if they're your numbers, only you know how you got them and whether they're quality or not. And even when you're looking at someone else's numbers, don't just assume that they're quality.
Yes.
Only you know, and only that artist will know whether those numbers are legit
Exactly.
or whether they're
And it's like
Fudged.
it's like buying
Fudge.
followers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on like Instagram
the same
and
shit.
shit. And
Yeah.
you could immediately see it, bro. Like you got 10,000 likes, but you got 3 comments, bro.
Yeah.
You know, or you got 10 comments and 3 of them are the fucking same thing.
Yeah.
Posted from somebody different, saying the exact same thing. Hey, good job, buddy.
Shit's weird,
And
dog.
then Yolanda posted, "Hey, good job, buddy." Same emoji.
Yeah,
Like, bruh.
it's weird. It's weird, and I think it's dangerous for the younger artists
yeah.
that are seeking validation from these vanity metrics.
Don't put your money into that. Put your money into like music videos and stuff like
show.
that.
Or
Like,
just perfecting your craft.
Yeah, something.
Content. You
Build-
need like content.
Get
build
better
the
beats.
relationship with your audience.
Hit me up.
Get better
That
beats.
audience
Learn how to record
relationship
yourself.
counts.
Buy
Yeah.
equipment. You know what I'm saying? Buy a new phone that you can shoot fucking
There you
4K
go.
content on. You know what I mean? That matters
Invest
more.
in yourself, bro. Like you
Yeah.
said, buy your own equipment. Like I'm a music producer. Like at some point, like when me telling people to go get your own studio set up, it's like some kind of taking money out of my pocket, but not really, bro, because we're in a different time now, bro. Like I did a recording session with my pops, bro, just this morning, and you know, and it's all we recorded music that he wrote, bro, like 30 years ago.
Right.
Never was able to do it because he had kids and life happened. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we recorded that today, bro, and it hit me, and it was like, I seen the look on his face, and he was like gassed up, bro, like his dream came true
Because he got to
Right.
record
And
those
it came
records.
through
got
for
to
his son,
record it,
too.
bro.
That's dope.
Yeah, dog.
That's great.
But like, think about it. Like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there wasn't no home studios. If it
No.
was a home studio, it was a big ass
Oh, yeah.
actual studio.
Oh, yeah,
like
for sure.
you couldn't just have this little shit right here.
And it
bro.
was reel to
So-
reel. That shit was on real tape.
Yep.
And there was no J to record it for
Ooh,
him, my
I
dude.
like that, dog.
You know what
I
I'm
appreciate
saying? 40 years ago, there was no J, so it wouldn't have existed the same way anyways,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
dog.
You know, so
Yeah, it's. I understand it. I understand why Spotify does it, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
It's
I
a
get it.
flex.
Yeah, it's a flex. It is,
It's
and
a flex.
again, whatever. If that's how you want to validate yourself, hey, more power to you. Like,
Right.
I just feel like those are very shallow aspirations as an artist. And if it starts going one way the other way, dog, there's no depth to how you're like perceiving yourself.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking at those shallow aspirations of just I want to have all the numbers,
Yeah.
there's no substance left in how you actually look at yourself as an artist if those numbers start going away. Or
Yeah.
what if I don't know, bro. Fuck, MySpace was killing it for years, right? All of a sudden, Facebook comes in and just destroys it.
Right.
What happens when the new thing comes around?
I got a perfect example for that. When did McDonald's stop saying billions and billions served?
That's a good question.
It's when the word got out that the food wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Oh, yeah,
That's really
okay, I see
when they
that.
took it off their marquee, because it used to be about numbers. How
Numbers.
many people are you serving? How many customers do you have? And that validated the company. But when the quality of the food came into question, they stopped saying billions and billions served. They stopped using that as a way to advocate it, and then it got into da 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 da, and they
I'm
started
loving it.
rebranding it. They started rebranding.
They were
it.
just like, whoever wants it, come get some.
Yeah,
We ain't gonna tell you.
yeah.
We ain't gonna tell you how many motherfucking people we killed. That's a lot.
Don't hit that button. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
Hey, y'all remember what was that? That shit was fucking nasty. That
Super
Super
Size
Size
Me.
Me.
Yep.
Remember that
Yeah,
fucking
that movie,
bro?
yeah.
When he sat in the car and he ate that shit and then just fucking threw his
Yeah,
life up,
bro.
Bro, his blood. He fucked himself up,
He
dog, for
literally
30
almost-
days.
He almost
Yeah.
fucking died, bro.
You know
he
what's
had
wild?
liver problems, all types
Everything,
of shit.
dog.
Yeah,
He
it
was
crazy.
diabetic, bro.
Yeah.
They were gonna have to cut his leg
In a
off,
month.
like in a month. Crazy, dog. What's wild about McDonald's to me is it's funny because now down here in Burque, they just tore down the oldest McDonald's in the state of New Mexico.
Oh, really?
It was the one right there by the mall, right there on Manal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they tore it down. Right?
No shit.
I didn't
That's
even
the one
think
on
about
San
it.
Pedro?
Yeah,
Oh,
right there. They
okay.
tore it down.
That was the oldest one?
Oldest one in New Mexico.
No kidding.
Crazy. It
Okay.
still looked old school like the ones that we
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
And it made me think, like, man, when we were kids, dog, we would go to McDonald's for birthday parties.
I know.
Y'all, did you ever have a
Yeah.
McDonald's birthday
Hell
party,
yeah.
Jay? Hey, those McDonald's birthday parties were lit,
Yeah,
bruh. They'd have
yeah.
you stand on the chair with the little ring toss. You throw little rings up in that bitch. And then you go play in the little the McDonald's play place.
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
sketchy ass ball pits. Or probably cesspools of all kinds of
Oh,
crazy
dog, I know.
bacteria.
Man,
Bro,
that's so
I know,
funny.
dog.
I was just telling Mike, I was mentioning Grimace and the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
And Ronald McDonald to my daughter, and she's young. She's like 6, about to be 6. She was like, she has a completely different association because I guess they turned Grimace into like
As a shake.
a Grimace shake, and
Yeah.
then there's like some kind of negative, like some kind of scary story or something. And she was like, "Dad, don't talk about that. That's bad." And I was like, "It's Grimace. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, I didn't understand what she was saying. And then she was like, "But the Hamburglar and Grimace," and she was like, "No, those are bad guys." And I was like, "What?" When I was a kid, they were like, and I was like, "You know, he only steals hamburgers, right? Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't steal.
He don't steal from people.
He don't steal your car."
That we know of.
right.
That we know of.
Right.
He might be out there.
Depends on how much he fiending off the
Hey.
burgers.
The Hamburglar might be out there living that dirtbag
that
life.
life.
Them words. But it was McDonald's then was like a fucking experience.
I know.
You're like, we're gonna get McDonald's, we're gonna get a
Yeah,
Happy
you
Meal.
got the
toy.
You got the toy, and
a
then
big deal.
McDonald's for Halloween with the buckets.
Bro.
Them shits glue. That glue. Glowed. What's the plural of glow? Len words.
Glowed. The
Glowed.
plural?
Yeah.
Glue.
Or the
Glowed?
past
Did it
tense?
glue
No.
in the dark?
The past part is the
yeah,
word,
what's
the
past?
past tense? Glowed.
Glowed in
That
the
doesn't
dark.
sound right though.
Neither does glued.
It's glowed.
Who learned you
Yeah.
to spoke?
Glowed
It's like the same
in the
thing.
dark. That sounds
It
fucking
glowed in the
weird.
dark,
It just
yeah.
sounds weird.
That's
It is
right.
right. He's right. It is. It didn't
Glowed in
glue.
the dark.
Glue's glue. You can't glue the glow.
Glow is still just
Y'all are on crack, man. What are y'all talking
You
Roads,
can't glue roads. Hey,
Take it from Lin words.
we've said it before, my dude.
What does he know?
Words are hard, dog.
Words are tough.
Words are hard.
The ones that glowed in the dark. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that sounds right.
See?
They would glow in the dark. Come on. Now they're just. Obviously, McDonald's is fucking disgusting. Let's just get that out the
Shout
gate.
out
It's
to
not good for you.
McDonald's, though.
Not good for you. But listen,
sponsorship, though.
sometimes them McDonald's fries
They still hit.
at 12 at midnight, fresh too though. If they
Yeah.
get that shit, it's got the right amount
Well,
of salt
well,
on
you
it.
get- if you get them unsalted,
be
they're
just-
fresh. If you order
Yeah,
them
if you order
unsalted,
them
they have to
unsalted,
make them.
yeah.
Who the
and then
fuck
they're fresh.
orders McDonald's French fries unsalted?
The people who want them fresh.
If
people
you're trying to
that
go
want
be
them
healthy,
fresh, dog,
if
I
you're
just-
trying to be healthy, get the
I just
fuck
gave
out of
you a
here.
life-
You're in
I
the
just
wrong
gave you a
spot.
life hack here.
Yeah, but what if you
bro.
don't got
This
salt
guy-
to put it on that shit?
Get a pack of salt. They have
Them little,
packets of salt.
them
That's
little
too
piece
much
of
work.
shit. That's too much work. Salt that shit. Give it to me. I don't care.
Just
Warm
make
it.
'em right.
Throw it underneath the lamps. Warm that shit up real quick.
That's the worst thing you could tell somebody in a
12.
fast food place is to make that shit right.
Yeah,
They'll
no,
be like,
get
"Oh,
right.
you make it right? Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha."
My go-to for
gonna be right.
McDonald's, if it's late night
Yeah,
vibes,
Yeah.
is the hot and spicy, right?
Okay.
But I make sure, and this is extra work, and I'm about
Yeah.
to split the
I
audience.
had to take these.
I'm about to split the audience right here.
I do a little extra with the hot and spices
I
at the
take
crib.
the
when
mayo
yeah.
off. I take the mayo off,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because I don't fuck with mayo.
You don't like a
I
little-
was raised on Miracle Whip, my dude.
You don't like
I knew I was gonna
Where's the
split
tangy
it.
zip?
Hey, sweet, not fucking
Tangy zip
Hey,
with Miracle Whip.
Bro.
mayo is like sour.
But they put so much on that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
they drench
put-
it.
yeah.
They give you a little
It's
pile.
Because it's so
gross as
dry.
Bro,
Because
they
the
give
chicken
you a
is so
little
dry.
pile of lettuce about this big, and they give you fucking 5 pounds of
lettuce,
mayonnaise.
and it's like-
Here's your little healthy shit.
Yeah,
There's probably sugar in the lettuce.
that's funny, bro.
So I get no mayonnaise, and I go home, and I put my Miracle Whip on that shit. I
Okay.
know I split the audience. You're either Miracle Whip or mayonnaise. You're not really in
Is
between.
that all you do though? How you
with the-
dress up
with
your
the-
hot and spicy?
I just throw
Really?
some-
Just
yeah,
the
I
Miracle
just
Whip?
throw some Miracle Whip
Man.
on that joint.
Man, listen.
Land words, you
Put
going
us-
crazier
put
than
us
that?
on game, dog.
Let's hear it.
Well, first of all, you got to have the ingredients in the fridge. But
Okay.
back when I used to, which it's been a while since I've been to McDonald's and ordered that. But I do my own lettuce, pickles or jalapenos,
Okay.
some sriracha, tomatoes, onions. Like I actually.
That's
do
a
it
whole
right.
ass situation right there.
Yeah, I would take a dollar sandwich and turn it into a
Some gourmet
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, make it better.
Land words on that gourmet.
Whenever I get McDonald's, bro, I'm driving. So
I was about to
I
say,
get-
typically by this time, I'm already drunk. So
Yeah.
to me, it's
There
like,
you go, there you go.
just
Fuck
make
it.
it good, man.
There you
Just
go.
get
Nah,
on and make it good.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll get the hot and spicy. I'll put buffalo sauce though.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I scrape off the half a gallon of mayo
Yeah,
And then-
dog.
because that shit is gross, bro.
It's still
But-
absorbed into the chicken patty,
yeah,
so it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
So it's still there, and then I'll get a medium fry,
There you go.
a medium Sprite, and sometimes I'll get a green chili double. But that's usually
Yeah.
my go-to. It's like $7.
Oh, the
Well,
green
when-
chili
Bam.
doubles.
When I get the green chili
And
doubles,
then
I just exclusively Whataburger.
Yeah. Yeah, oh
When
yeah,
I
but
do the
McDonald's.
green
Hey,
chili
listen,
double.
listen.
No, but the chili's
McDonald's-
better at fucking at
McDonald's green
bro.
chili doubles,
They got
bro.
they got the popping green chili.
My
at
brother,
McDonald's?
Slapping,
I know I
not
just said
slapping, but-
fuck McDonald's, but listen, their green chili doubles still to this day. I don't know what kind of fucked up cheese they have, where it's made, what GMO and that, but that shit is bussin'.
Really?
For real.
Okay.
Whataburger still smacks all over it. Don't get it twisted. Whataburger
Don't go to
smashes
the one
on
by
it.
Cottonwood though.
Right.
What it's unkempt.
Unkempt.
We've discussed this, but yeah, their green chili double, fire. But those are my. I got three things that I go to: the hot spicy, the green chili double, and the fucking chicken nuggets, my dude.
You still get the.
I mean, yeah, even though I've seen videos where people look under the microscope at those chicken nuggets and there's little things that are living inside
like
that shit.
Yeah.
Sludge,
It is
man.
chicken sludge. It's like some pink shit. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is.
You know what's crazy, bro? Is
It is.
you know like those granola bars and shit that like they sell.
You mean those
The
cardboard
Nature
things
Valley,
we
like-
eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually legal to have. It's like 10% of bacteria that actually live in there.
Really?
Yeah, and it passes the law. out
Who
here,
passes
bro.
these fucking laws, bro? That shit's crazy.
Isn't that disgusting, bro?
Disgusting ain't the word.
Yeah, dog. They did the same thing. They zoom in and you see these little fucking things just moving inside your little granola bar, dog. It's
All
disgusting.
jump off the ledge. They want you to consume that shit so you could be their fucking customer in the emergency room, and you can be their customer with what they got to pump in your body to make you better. That's why they want you to consume it.
parasites.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Like
want you to consume
parasites
it.
living like you're feeding the parasites
And
that are
guess
living
what?
in your stomach.
That shit's cheap as hell.
yeah.
It's easy to eat that shit.
Yeah.
So you're a customer
And
all the way around.
And it's hard, like when you got a parasite, it's hard to get rid of it because it's like it's a living thing
Yeah, it's
in your
nasty.
body that's
it's
like
living
attached
off of
to you.
you.
Yeah, and it affects your mood, your mind, because when you stop feeding it what it likes to eat, like that's why it's so hard
You
for
talking
people
about
to
my
quit.
ex or a parasite?
She might have been a parasite, man.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't know.
Damn.
But-
Sound like you talking about her.
But it's like when you change it up, change your lifestyle up. That's why it's so hard for people to like change their diet, quit sugar, like
Yeah.
that sort of thing, because those entities are living in your body,
Mm-hmm.
and for them to die off, like they fight to live just like you would fight to live.
Yeah.
So
And they're living off of you.
and they're living off of you, so they'll fuck your head up, make you angry, make you short tempered,
So
like
you're
all
God.
that
So
stuff.
you're God to them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
In a
maybe
way,
that's why
yeah.
God's mad at us. We out here pissing them off. Chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God's like, you guys are parasites.
Y'all are well, that scene in the Matrix, bro.
That's
I
true.
always go back to it. Whenever Agent Smith has Neo there, he's like, I know what humans are on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Virus.
He compares us to a virus.
Yeah.
He's all they
think
they
that's
use
the- I
they
think
use
it's the
all
smell.
of they use all of the natural resources and then
Yeah.
move on to go find more
Yeah.
until the host is dead. Then there's no more natural
There's no more-
resources and
yeah.
they're gone. I think about I don't always think about being
Yeah.
depressed like a motherfucker. But when I go there, I think about that, bro.
Yeah.
So talking about health and taking care of yourself, bro, and age,
Yeah.
fucking LeBron motherfucking James. LeBron James.
Yes.
You seen what he's been
Ageless.
doing?
The ageless wonder.
Age 20,
Yeah.
age 21.
He's playing
21st
He's turned
year.
the NBA into YMCA pickup games for him.
38
Like,
years
he
old.
makes it look like
This-
it's crazy the way he plays with these young guys, man. It's insane.
Has there been? I don't think there's been a dip. I don't think there's been a fall off in his game, bro.
He just doesn't jump as high and run quite as fast, but he's still faster than most human beings. He still jump out the gym compared to
His percentages
Most
this
people.
year 21,
Yeah.
38, about to be 39,
Yeah.
are the best of his career so far.
nice. Good for him.
That's fucking nuts.
I love it.
They just cooked the Rockets last night, and he threw one of them young boys in a fucking spin cycle, did a whole fucking spin around, out fucking late, bro. Like you said, it's like he's playing pickup games out here, bro.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a trip to see. It's a trip to see people that obviously were always doubting LeBron, right?
Yeah.
To now completely about face and be like, well, you know what?
Yeah, it's like
I
we
don't
ain't
know,
seen this
man.
before. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we've never seen this before.
Yeah.
So my question is I grew up on Jordan.
Yep.
LeBron's my same age. So when
Yeah.
Jordan retired, I kind of like fell back from watching basketball.
Uh-huh.
And LeBron got me back into it because you know,
Yeah.
they were showing his games on ESPN. He's my same age. So of course, bro, I'm a
Yeah.
fucking I followed LeBron from Cleveland to Miami to the Lakers, dog. It's crazy now to see people like in this argument of the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
For me, I always ask him, so okay, what takes him out of that question for you? What takes him out of that conversation for you? Is it just rings?
It's rings and losing in the finals. That's the only thing people have ever said that you can just kind of shrug and be like, well, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But the counterpoint to that is he went to a decade's worth of finals. Like
There was a point when you just
Jordan
thought it was
didn't.
Yeah, no.
Like, he did not go to the finals 10, 12 times
No.
in deep playoff runs. like playing with, teammates that were different in the shadow of someone like Jordan.
Yep.
That's the whole difference.
Yep.
Like, so LeBron, I think it was hubris to ever say that nobody will ever be better than Jordan, because naturally the game progresses,
Yep.
the players get better. Now we got 7-footers who are crossing people up and shooting from 35 feet.
And with
Like,
science,
it's crazy.
with the science and technology that we have now, they're able to stay younger longer. Their bodies.
Exactly.
It came out like about 10 years ago that LeBron spends $1 million a year on his body.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago.
Right.
It's probably like 4 or 5 million now, right? That's why he's able. Bro, he's probably stem cells, like all kinds of
Yeah,
that shit.
I was just
right?
about to ask, what is he doing?
I mean, you're never gonna see his entire
You'll never
regimen.
know, but
never
he's
know.
probably got.
He doing it,
Yeah.
and that's a part of it, though.
A whole different
For him to-
blood cycles and all.
That's
sorts
a
of stuff.
lot of fucking work, dog.
Yeah.
That's discipline on another level, right? To stay playing the game this long, this consistent, and he always says, I'll stay as long as my mind's right. My mind's right. I'm still here, right? So
Yeah.
he's still playing the game. He's still loving playing the game.
Yeah.
And he's in the conversation this year for MVP again.
I know.
38.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. So when the conversation, I guess, is never going to be fully over. And I've even said this as a LeBron fan. I never thought I would be able to put him above Jordan in my conversation, right? It's getting a lot harder to justify saying that, bro. It really is, dog.
So I don't follow basketball too much
Because of that time I crossed you up. That time I dunked on you, Jay.
I was just about to say, he about to start telling people he dunked on you.
the one
when
time
I
we ever
yanked
played
on you, dog. Damn, pause. Never mind. I didn't say. When I dunked on Jay.
The one time, bro. Then he's been fleeing states and running marathons ever
Right.
since.
I'm busy, dog.
Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say now.
You don't watch basketball.
Oh yeah, no, but he's always like LeBron's always been that guy. Even like when he was still in high school, like seeing that footage. But like, what does Jordan? Does Jordan give him his flowers? Like, what does he?
Well,
what is
Jordan,
his
brother, Jordan's different, dog. Like, Jordan doesn't really come out here and do all this like media stuff. He's still in that like mythical. He's still. You see, Jordan's like, holy fuck, this is fucking Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He never had social media. Like, he was never an announcer. Jordan lives in this untouchable bubble.
Yep.
Bro, but I guarantee when like you see him like for the 75th anniversary last year, like him and LeBron were there center court for a good little amount of time, dog.
Yeah.
There's supposedly they had a pickup game when LeBron was like in his 20s or like 18, 19 or something like that.
Yeah.
They played. There's supposed to be footage. I don't know. We'll never see it. But Jordan really never until when Kobe passed away, right? You never really saw that side of Jordan.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but when Kobe passed away, when he was talking about Kobe, you got to see it. He's like, Kobe, he would text me, he would call me. I'm curious too. And I would just assume that him and LeBron have somewhat of a similar relationship, bro. They got to. I don't think there's animosity there.
There shouldn't be. I hope so
Yeah.
too. But I mean, you want the greats to recognize each other's greatness. But then I was kind of shocked, maybe not too shocked because of what I know of like Kareem's temperament. But LeBron and Kareem didn't fuck with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes a little more sense than LeBron and Jordan, though.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like Jordan seems to be the type of dude when you said, does he give these younger guys their flowers? I think he does, but I think he does in closed circles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's playing cards with him on a plane somewhere, like he'll shout him out and show him love and stuff like that. But once these idiots with cameras and microphones get in front of
They
them,
don't want nothing to do with it.
he's just gonna say, well, we don't know, and crosshair comparisons don't matter.
Yeah. He's just smoke a cigar and just whatever.
and just keep it moving because he doesn't want to get into that shit because only players really know what it takes to be number one and to stay there. And it's something that like a Kobe would know, a LeBron would know, a Jordan would know,
Yep.
a Magic would know,
A Kareem would know.
A Kareem would know.
Yep.
But it's like nobody else knows. As good as these other players are, they're still looking at these guys and saying they're a level past.
That's the measuring stick.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the bar.
Yeah. And it's like these guys committed their lives to being the best basketball player in the world. like literally best in the world. Nobody else made that commitment.
No.
You know,
And
stuck to it.
LeBron's still fucking going, bro.
Yeah.
He's showing no
And that's what I'm saying.
signs
It's
of
like
falling off.
He made a commitment to say, like Tom Brady was just like, yo, I'm going to be the greatest ever.
But and see, okay,
And I don't
that's
care
a
if
good-
I get drafted
that's
in
a
the
good
second
comparison.
round.
That's a good comparison, right? Tom Brady.
And
okay?
don't start.
But listen, football and basketball are completely different beasts, bro.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron has been running up and down that fucking court his whole life, bro.
Yeah.
When you see someone 38, usually in the league, they're like, my farewell tour, I'm gonna throw a little something here.
Yeah.
I can't really dunk it. Fuck no.
I can't really.
This dude, it's
Reversing.
crazy,
Yeah.
dog. I've watched since the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
And even as a fan, you're sitting there, okay, like this year we're gonna see something. We're
Yeah.
gonna see fuck no.
Yeah.
He evolved his game in ways that's made him even more fucking deadly, bro. It's crazy to see. So much so to where the conversation of greatest basketball player is probably taking a back seat to the conversation of greatest athlete of
Right.
all time.
Yep. Yeah.
It's taking a back seat
Yeah.
because, and again, I would like to sit down with somebody that could really tell me why he shouldn't be in these conversations. Outside of his political views, outside of how you feel about when he left Cleveland, outside of all that other shit,
Yeah.
the numbers and what he's done, I'd really like to sit across. I want someone to explain to me, because you see hate all the time. He's probably the most hated fucking athlete of all time. Why?
They hate him because they ain't him.
That I mean,
Like what? I mean, but what could you really legitimately criticize the man for? He hasn't been, caught doing anything.
he
you know,
left
like,
Cleveland
terrible,
and
except
they lost
switching
to they
teams.
lost to Dallas in 2011.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the two biggest critiques that you can throw at his way, right? People want to say that he gave up in Dallas when he got cramped up and stuff like that. So those two, that's what they're going to say. Brother, this is a 21 years.
Yeah.
Those are the only two things you can say.
That's your only criticism.
He ain't out here fucking on all these broads. Why? I
Yeah.
mean,
that we know of.
you know what I'm saying?
We don't know nothing about it.
bro, he's out here putting kids through school. Like, it seems
Yeah.
like his family's in
Building
order.
sc-
I mean, look,
yeah.
dog, his son, bro, now I think he came out, he's about to play his first game now with USC, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in college. He's doing good. Fucking Bryce out here doing it, bro. You usually see there's like, with that kind of money
There's some
coming
sort
from
of
where
discord,
LeBron comes, there's usually some fuck shit that ends up going down, dog.
But look what he did with his friends too. Like he took his friend circle and he built them up as
Into
well.
bosses.
And that alone to me is like one of the things that speaks so highly of his character. And what he said was like, look, here are my homeboys. Everyone says they're duds. They're just lucky to be around me. I'm gonna show you guys that what we have is real. We got a real friendship. We got
Yep.
a real brotherhood, and we're all going to come up. I might be the one who's out in front, but
They're all getting paid.
we're all gonna build our
Kevin
lives.
Hart did the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. Yeah,
Kevin Hart did the same thing.
And they hated him for it.
Yeah, it's
and I think
ridiculous.
that's really what they hated LeBron most for at the very beginning was that he got his friends opportunities that they wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah.
And he made sure that they were trained by, like I think it was either Rich Paul or Mav. I think it was Mav, but one of them like actually went to the agency and was an understudy while LeBron was signed to the agency.
Yeah.
And then once he learned enough, he just did like a two-year contract or whatever it was. LeBron was done with his contract. He signed with his boy.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So
That's-
his boy learned from the best in the game, learned how it was done.
And now he's got all
and
kinds
and
of stars signed
exactly.
to him.
So it's like, that's the way, like you take the information, you take the knowledge, you take the opportunity, and you build off of that. He wasn't a dummy coming out of high school. They wanted him to be a fool. They wanted him to be a sucker.
He
wasn't.
never
He did
did,
Akron
bro.
proud. He did the community proud. Like, everything that he represents in this world, like he did solid by it. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? People wanted him to be more. They wanted him to be a Jim Brown or a Muhammad Ali. He's LeBron James. He's
Yep.
his own man. Let him be that. Because he did a hell of a great job so far with that. Period.
Dog, look where he comes
Period.
from, dog.
Akron, man.
No,
Akron.
no dad, right? He shouldn't even have made it out of where he was, much less what he has turned it into, bro. So I mean, and that kind of brings me to another point, dog. So do you think, you know, you look at his kids, right? And where they're headed and everything that's like in their future. Do you think life is easier for your children if you're rich? Do you think you can create better people from a standpoint of having money? Because I know a lot of us probably seen T.I. and his son go at it.
I didn't see this. You were telling
about
me
a week
this.
ago.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
They were on live. They were in their suite up at the Falcons game, and T.I.'s son was talking about how, like, you know what I'm saying, he like grew up rough, and T.I.'s like, motherfucker, you grew up in the suburbs. And, like, they were going back and forth with each other. They say he threw him in a headlock. But I didn't see none of that stuff, but they were going at it, right?
Yeah.
And it made me think, like, does having that kind of money necessarily mean you're gonna have a better life?
Okay, I got an opinion on this. So money has become a way to buy people's attention, and in some ways, it buys your children's attention. Because if dad got it or mom got it, whoever got it, that's who I'm paying more attention to.
Oh shit! Okay.
Okay, that's who's gonna have more clout under the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Because dad could get me more shit.
Dad could
Or
give me
mom
more
could get
shit.
me more
Mom
shit.
could give me more shit. That's why kids play, favors with their parents and stuff like that. Now, when the family unit is solid and you got a mom and a dad under the same roof and they're on the same page, that piggy bank is all the same.
Yeah.
So go ask your dad, go ask your mom, you're going to get the same answer. You know what I'm saying? So a family that's solid like that, built like that, has a culture, right? And that culture is better cultivated with resources built into it. Money doesn't make you a better person. Money will never make you a better person. Your family is what determines more than anything else who you become and how you become it. However, when you have resources at your disposal, it's a beneficial jumpstart to being able to build that. So when you're trying to change the direction of your family, like let's say you come from a family like a LeBron or someone else, where it's like you're starting with less. Like obviously he won the genetic lottery, but
he didn't win.
He didn't win any other fucking lottery.
that was
you
it.
know what I'm saying? Like at all. There's 6'8" motherfuckers working at
for sure
Hobby Lobby or
how many LeBrons
auto
never
parts
even made it
stores.
out of the streets?
Yeah, exactly. Or in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like there's cats like that. So there's still a way to build out of nothing, but it is easier to be able to get your kids' attention because there's so many distractions, there's so many ways, and your kids are taught from every position that whoever has money is who I need to be paying attention to. That's the culture of America, the way it is. We don't necessarily want that to be our culture, but that's kind of what we contend
Just
against
kind of
as a
is what it
parent.
is, yeah.
So when you're trying to raise kids and raise them with a certain level of character that's, at your level or higher or better, and you're trying to cultivate that, having resources gets their attention and makes it easier for you. Because if you could take your kids on trips, if you can show them, like you take your kids to Disneyland and stuff like that, you give them an opportunity to see a certain style of life, a different part of the world, those sorts of things, that broadens their horizons and lets them understand there's more to this than just this neighborhood, just, your little friend circle and, what your friends or the kids at school think about you or your teachers or, like all that shit. It helps break them out of those mental constraints by showing them there's a big world out there and you can be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think money is useful for that, but there are trade-offs. How do you get that money?
And you can end up spoiling the fuck out of them.
And you can spoil them too. So
and
it
that's when
becomes
they
a
turn into
double-edged
little
thing.
shitheads.
Yeah.
Because like you said, money only amplifies who you are at your core.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a shithead and you're broke, you can't be as big a shithead as you would be if you had fucking money.
Yeah.
You can't do as much damage because you can't move around like that.
Right.
You're broke.
Yeah.
It's going to amplify who you are at your core level as a human being, right? And I feel like I totally agree that it allows you to take your children to places and show your children things that you didn't get to see, right?
Yeah.
I've got to experience that. I'm in no fucking way, shape, or form rich, right? But I got enough money to show my kids things I never got to see.
But you got a rich spirit, though.
I appreciate
that's
that,
the
and
difference.
that's what
the
I
big
want
difference.
to pass
Yeah.
down. Because even if I was, say, I'm a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
I hope I can keep, and I say hope because money has a way
It's
of.
not guaranteed.
It's not.
It's not
It's
guaranteed.
not. Just because you say, "Oh yeah, money. I'm a great person. Money's gonna amplify it." Money has a way of poisoning shit, dog. It really does.
Yeah.
So if I was a billionaire, I would hope that I would be able to pass down principles and morals to my children that would allow them to be good people regardless,
Right.
if they were rich or not. Because kids can be swayed one way or another, dog, especially, so we were talking about T.I.'s son. He's, what, 16, 17?
Right.
8? I don't know. He's youngster, dog.
Right.
When you're that age, bro, you just want to fucking be cool, dog.
Right.
And if you're hanging around with homies that are from the hood and you're from the suburbs, you ain't fucking cool. Even though you got, it's like that J. Cole record. You know what I'm talking about? When he's like, he's his homies selling dope in the hallways, and he goes to his house. He's
Oh,
like, man,
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
get like you. And J. Cole's
Such
like,
a dope
yeah.
fucking
Homie
song.
tells him, man, you look like a clown right now.
Yeah.
He's like,
Man,
he's
you,
all,
you know how you sound right
Yeah.
now? If I didn't know you, I'd think you
was
was
a clown right now. Because J. Cole, like, he was like not the most rich motherfucker, but compared to Homie,
Yeah.
like he had a nice
Yeah.
situation.
Situation, yeah.
And Homie's out here, but J. Cole was looking up to him because
Yes.
he had the bitches, he had the money, and he was moving a certain way. But he didn't realize that it came with all this other shit, right?
Yeah, bro. That's
So,
such a dope fucking
it
song.
really is.
Adolescence is what it's called.
Adolescence, yes. Shout out to Jermaine.
Sick, bro.
I feel like that is a dangerous age, bro. That if you can make it, I always say that. If you can make it out that little age, bro, you might be all right.
Yeah.
Because especially, like, I don't know what it's like to come from that kind of money.
Right.
I mean, T.I. been out here doing, I'm sure they ain't struggling,
Yeah.
right? Financially.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like to come from that kind of money. I don't know how I would have reacted, right? I don't know. You can't really, every person's situation is different.
Yeah.
But one thing's definitely obvious when you look at even like people, even serial killers, mass murders, people that they always say, what's that always? You would have never known.
Yeah.
He was the nicest guy.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's got 155 chopped up dead bodies in his basement, but he had a good, what would be a standard
Upbringing.
Like
upbringing,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like you can't really, even if you're the poorest person on the face of the earth
Yeah.
or the richest person on the face of the earth, you can't really judge it. You never know.
Yeah.
You could be a billionaire raising the next Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yeah.
or broke as fuck raising the next Einstein.
Yeah, I think those things are separate when you're talking about people who build wealth versus people who are born into it. Because the attainment of wealth is in money, and the accumulation of money is a spiritual process anyway. You have to have a rich spirit. That's why I don't doubt it. When I see you, it's like I know one day he's gonna make that leap that, you know, we all expect him to. It'll happen. You have the spirit in you. That's what I think T.I. was probably a little more frustrated with his son
Yeah.
about, is because when you go from nothing to something, you're unique in your family. A lot of people say each family only has one, and then it grows from there. And either you keep it, or, you know, like the Vanderbilts created a huge amount of money, but then 3 generations later, it's gone. Where the name means something, but
yeah.
in certain circles, it means don't fuck your money off, because it can happen.
Well, what do they say?
You know what I'm saying?
What do they say? Tough times create tough men.
Yeah.
Tough men create easy times.
Yeah.
Easy times create weak men.
Yeah, and you don't want to ever
It's a
lose.
cycle.
Damn,
You don't
man.
want to ever lose that sharpness when it comes to your spirit or to your character.
Yep.
So that's how the rich stay rich and get richer, is because they build that culture in their families and stuff. That's why, you know,
You got to keep it.
you got, yeah, like your family is just that. It's just that important. And a lot of people fuck them off, and, you know, that's why we have the culture that we have now, where certain energies are out there where it's like, you know, I don't need this person or that person in my life, and I can do it without this person or that person. It's like that completely ruins the opportunity for the next generation to come up and build even a little bit off of prior experiences, because, you know, people are buying into this horse shit that we don't need each other. We need each other.
Yeah.
You know, men need women, women need men. children need their parents, both of them. They need their families. Like, we all need each other. That's how our communities are built. That's how our opportunities are built. We're not going to have wealth until we focus on those things that aren't just based on money.
Yeah, no.
But money comes when you focus on that stuff because it's solid. Your family is solid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know that whatever you build in your lifetime, your kids aren't going to fuck it off. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
I agree with you.
It's unlikely. Put it that way. It's
d-
highly unlikely.
And I doubt that's been intentional. I've intentionally built that culture around that, right? And I think it comes from me not shying away from being really honest to them, right? Because I remember when I was younger, like I knew my pops was using, right? I knew he was using dope and shit, and that didn't matter to me, right? It really didn't. It didn't hurt me. I mean, it should have, but maybe it did, but it didn't mentally. What bothered me is that they were lying to me.
Yes.
That they weren't being honest with me. That fucked me up. I remember thinking to myself, I was probably like 6 years old, dog. And I thought to myself, when I have fucking kids, I'm not gonna hide that. Now, there comes a point where you can't fucking share everything with your fucking kids, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like take them on fucking like dope runs and drive-bys and shit, right? I mean, I go to the craziest place possible always, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm really honest with my children.
Yeah.
Like when they always knew that I smoked weed. I didn't try and hide it. I'm not blowing weed in their fucking baby carriage, but it wasn't a bad thing to me, right? So I didn't want them. The moment that you start thinking like treating it like, oh no, don't tell them, don't show them, keep it away from them.
Right.
They're gonna find it. They're gonna find it, and then they're gonna
is
fucking
always
look at
shown.
you like a hypocrite.
And that breaches that level of trust that makes it impossible for them to trust you. Like me growing up, like I took a lot of ass whoopings, but I was a good kid. I took some that I didn't deserve that were extra. And, you know, like a lot of families, you know, that come from the culture I come from, drinking was a problem. Not so much drugs, but drinking was a problem. And it was the hypocrisy that pissed me off more than anything. It was knowing that someone was lying to you and telling you that it's for your own good. And that shit bothered me. And it made it so much harder in the later years to still build those relationships because those people are still not honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, they never took that road. That's why I'm just like you with my kids, completely honest. You know, I don't lie to them, and I don't really hide, and I don't like to hide. If I'm having a bad day or I'm having in a bad mood, I'll tell them straight up. It's like, you are this close, motherfucker. Like, you are this close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to whoop your ass, but it's like, you need to understand that there's an ass whooping right here, like, ready to go.
It's
like,
right
you
here
need to
in the holster.
understand that there are lines. And you being honest with your kids and letting them know those things, I think builds a more trusting relationship. Like, I don't resent my parents, my family, or anybody for anything that was done to me or my experiences, but what I carried was the lies and the dishonesty into my adulthood, and that was harder to repair in those relationships than anything else. Anything else.
Me too. I feel like and my dad was always, after I grew up, my dad was always brutally honest with me, right? But I held on to that as a kid because I knew what was going on, bro. I wasn't dumb.
Don't lie to me.
But they were fucking lying.
Insulting my intelligence.
And it was pissing me off because then I had to turn around and I had to lie to my brother and sister. Because then I'm like, well, if they're trying to protect me, then I guess I got to protect them.
Right.
So it went, and it pissed me off because it turned me into a liar too. And I resented it for a long time. But, you know, eventually my dad realized that was wrong. That was the wrong way to do it. And he used to always tell me, and I keep this with my kids too. He used to tell me, John, it's us against everybody, right? If you're lying to me, I can't help you. You have to tell me exactly what's going on, the 100% truth, because I don't care what you did. I'm on your side. We got to figure this out, and the only way we could figure it out is if I know the fucking truth. If you're out here lying and you're giving me half truths and I figure it out down the line, then I'm fucked because
looking like a bozo.
I'm looking like a bozo. And I held on to that too, so I passed that to my kids. And you know, I feel like they know they could tell me anything, no matter what's going on, no matter what. I'm always gonna listen, and I'm always gonna try and help. And they've never really been dishonest with me.
Right.
You know, luckily I feel like my boys ain't really good liars anyways. You know, I can see
kids
right
can't
through
lie
it.
either, man.
And I'm like, bro, and my dad used to tell me, man, I know you're lying because your lips are moving. But my dad used to tell me that I know what you're thinking before you even think it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've said that same lie. And it's
Yep.
funny because I hear my dad's words literally coming out of my mouth now. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, come on, man. I'd give you some credit if it was a better lie. Like if you tried a little harder, bro. Come on. But it's a good thing. I don't want him to be good at lying because
No,
Yeah,
nobody
for sure.
should.
it makes my job harder.
And see, like I don't have kids, but like I remember we were up at the lake, bro, out in Cali, and it was just me and Pops, bro, and I was swimming, and like I came up, and then and he was smoking, right? He had like a little pipe, and he seen him, you know what I mean? And then so he kind of just got up and walked down, and he's like, you know, then he came in, you know, and he talked to me, and he was like, hey, just, you know, this is something I do, you know. When you're a little older, we could try it, but this is just something for adults. Boom, and I was like, oh, okay. Went back to playing. That was it. I was probably 5th grade maybe.
Yeah.
I probably didn't start smoking until like my senior year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't something that I was like, hey,
I gotta
can't
do
wait.
it.
They
Yeah.
said not to do it.
I gotta
Yeah.
go do it.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But he was just, and you know, the same thing with drinking, bro. Like, if you want to do it here and whatnot, bro. But like, him being straight up with me, like that's what I remember. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I do, and I respect it. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And see, I think all that is way more important to the foundational pieces of building a good human being.
Yeah.
Because as parents, I mean, that's really the what we're doing, right? We're trying to not fuck this human being up, and we're trying to build better people,
Yeah.
right? So those are foundational pieces. I feel like that's more important than having a lot of money.
Yeah.
It really is, because we've seen it. Like you see families that have a lot of money, and it doesn't matter. They still end up fucking raising little shitheads.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they lose focus on like what the principles are, and they don't build a culture based off of morals and certain principles.
yeah, like the values change.
The values change
you know what
completely.
I mean?
And
It's
then,
like-
then instead of like trying to like teach your child, I'm assuming, because I don't come from money, they probably just try and throw money at the situation. And then you're just creating a spoiled little fucking brat
Yeah.
that if they don't get their way,
Yeah.
they're going to lash the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can only do that so many times before, well, there's nothing you can do now. You can't correct the ship, dog. If you threw money at it and you created this spoiled little shitty human being, they're going to be a spoiled, shitty adult.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that's way more important as a parent, building a foundational piece for a foundation for your children based off of certain morals,
Yeah.
certain principles
Morals, values, character.
Yes.
Those things.
that aren't, centered around money.
Yeah. And all that stuff leads to money anyway.
Yeah,
When you
that's
build
true.
it the right way. You know, like, because if you have morals and values and you say, look, it's important that, we save money and we invest money and we build our lives so they become easier over time, that can become a value that builds into your child's character or your own character and stuff like that. Like you create those things, they lead to wealth anyway. So it's not like you have to focus on money as the ends. The ends are the character that you build. That's what the end is. All the rest of the stuff reflects the choices you've already made and the things that you've already done. But it's not the end all be all. The end all be all is the type of person that you've created and all that stuff. But I agree with you. The money isn't it's just a reflection of what you've already done.
Yep. And
You know what I mean?
It's again, like we're talking about with the vanity metrics with the numbers for music, right? Again, that is a very shallow aspirations. Yeah, we need money to survive. And yeah, everybody wants, like, I'm not saying I don't want fucking nice shit. I'm not going to go live a monk lifestyle.
Right.
Listen, I'm addicted to being successful. I want a better life for me and for my children and for everybody around me.
Yeah.
If I'm addicted to anything now in my fucking 30s, that's what I'm addicted to. And guess what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's what it is. And I'm going to continue to go that route. But the thing is, bro, is you can't base who you are and your goals just off of monetary gain.
Right.
Because again, it's like the numbers for music. There's no substance to it, bro. If you're just like, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well then what after that?
Yeah.
I want $1 million.
Yeah.
There's no substance to that.
You get it.
Well, it's
goal.
like, are you helping anybody with that income?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
Versus, I want $1 million to change my, which wouldn't even do it now, to change my generational fucking debt.
Yes.
I come from generational poverty.
well, there's a way to do it. You just have to invest it, right? You know what I'm saying?
So if you were setting a goal for $1 million, right? And let's say you're just starting out, just trying to figure it out, and you're just like, I'm focusing my mind on what I want to attain. You could set a goal to say, I'm going to find 50,000 people every year that I can give them $200 worth of value, and I'm gonna charge them $20. That'll make you a millionaire. You'll gross $1 million straight up, just off of those numbers. 50,000 people, giving them 10x of value for $20, right? $1 million worth of game for $9.99, like
Yes,
Jay-Z
sir.
said, right? So even if your goal is just to have $1 million, it's how are you creating this money?
Yep.
Like, how are you giving value for it? And a lot of like what I've learned when it comes to business, and we're talking about the relationship with the customer and stuff, if you're focused on the value that you're giving someone else, the money comes anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's residual. It comes back from what you're creating. You're creating value, something that's not tangible, but you're trading something tangible to represent that there's been an exchange happening.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But if you just want to rob a bank or sell drugs or, and even selling drugs, like, this is why these conversations become so hairy, because it's like, is there a victim to the crime? If somebody wanted to get high and you
Someone's
gave
gonna
them
provide it
something-
anyways.
Yeah, and you're giving them something that they want or are using to get high off of, or drunk off of, or whatever, alter their mind-altering substances, you're still giving them
So
the
you're
value
hel-
that
you're
they're
hel-
looking
you're
for.
helping them?
Well, no, you're giving them the value they're looking for. Now, whether or not that's considered a legal exchange, that's the conversation about which side of the law that is happening on. But the fact that you're giving them something of value is indisputable, because they value it. The drugs sell themselves.
The thing
you're
about
not selling them.
the thing about that though is, like you said it, how are you attaining this money, right? I sold dope for years. I have nothing to show for it except for fucking scars and fucked up memories, right? I was attaining a lot of money fast, poisoning the people around me and my community, and I didn't give a fuck about it.
Right.
You really think that's gonna last? You think attaining money that way is gonna build you generational wealth?
Right.
Right? Eventually, fucking roosters are roosting, my dude. Eventually,
Yep.
they're going to come back and bite you in the fucking ass, bro. Because it's the energy that you're putting out there and how you're bringing it back your way, right?
Right.
Listen, this never happened. This is for entertainment purposes only. The moment I knew I was done,
Yeah.
I was done. One of my customers, who had been coming to me for a very long time, it was the only time I had ever stopped by her apartment, right? I had no idea she had any kids. I had nothing. She's been my customer for like 4 years, dog, and I knew none of this, right? So I get to the apartment, and it's supposed to be just a quick little situation. I get in, and her daughter's sitting there at the dinner table, right? And she's trying to give me their food. She's got steaks. She's got, obviously you could tell, obviously she had gotten it. It was the beginning of the month. It was EBT.
EBT, yeah.
So she wanted to exchange food for services. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember the fucking feeling in the pit of my stomach, dog.
Yeah.
I had been working with her for like 4 years, bro, and I didn't know she had a daughter. And I thought to myself, this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit too. The fuck is wrong with you? I told her. Fuck that. I told her, don't fucking call me. Feed your fucking daughter, right?
Yeah.
And obviously I'm up here in my high moral ground when I'm reacting that way. But realistically, I had just as much play in that as she did.
Right.
Because I didn't give a fuck until I did.
Yeah.
Until I realized, till I seen what until I'd seen the damage it had done.
Yeah.
Right in front of my fucking face. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. After that, it was pretty much a wrap.
Yeah.
I was able, like a lot of my homies, a lot of people I grew up with, didn't get out of that. They didn't make it. They did big bids. Fucking, they're gone, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A week after that, one of my big homies, he fucking got his brains blown out down here in Burke. About a week after that situation. So I was able to get out of it. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, bro, is how are you attaining this goal?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're a millionaire, but you killed 500,000 people to get there.
Yeah. You poisoned a community.
You think it's gonna last?
You poisoned the water.
You think it's gonna last? How's it gonna last?
You know what I mean?
That's the wrong kind of energy. That's why they say, I don't want that blood money stuff like that, right? Yeah, of course. People on their high moral ground sometimes, but that's what they talk about in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you had to sell your soul to the devil.
Sell my soul, yeah.
What did you have to do to get to that point?
Yeah.
And is it worth it?
And a lot of people don't realize that when they say that, they don't necessarily mean.
Oh, you mean Lucifer wasn't in the meeting?
Yeah. Well, but it's a spirit that comes to you.
Yeah.
And it comes through a man or a woman that's offering you something, and they know that it's contrary to your morals, your values, and your character.
And that's all selling your soul is.
And that's all it is.
Breaking your morals and your principles and your characters.
Is you signing on the dotted line with something that you know is incorrect.
Yep.
And you saying, you know what? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
You know what I'm saying? You know that you're selling yourself out. It's different when you don't know. It's different when you literally, there's nothing you can do about it. But when you have a choice and it's a realistic where it's just yeah, you don't have to do this. And you're not going to starve otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You're selling yourself. You're selling your soul. And people don't want to believe that that's what is happening. They want to believe it's, always these secret societies and these shrouded people in these rooms and all this stuff. Sometimes it's just a conversation with somebody at a dinner table or something. It's just hey, man, sign this or agree to do this or whatever. And they already know when they're offering it to you that it's contrary to what you've already expressed about who you are.
Yep.
But they're saying, hey, do it anyway. And they're looking at you to see if you're going to do it. Because if you're willing to do it, then you can be compromised in other ways. Now it's just a game of how far can I take it?
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's always just the tip of because now that I know you can be compromised, now it's okay, well, what's your vice?
And now
what's your thing?
You.
Yeah.
Now I own you completely.
Because now I know you can be compromised.
We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
And, people I feel like the music industry is a good place to use that phrase because we get to see these artists in real time, right? We get to see them live out their dreams. We get to see them attain all these riches, and then we get to see them either sustain it or completely fucking crumble.
Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again. And I mean, sometimes it's because they sold their soul in the way we're talking about it. They compromised who they are as a person, and you can't sustain that. Eventually, I think Jim Carrey said it. He said depression is when your avatar is tired of playing the character that you're making it play. It makes sense, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, most people stand for something, even if they don't speak it. Right? They feel a certain way. Right. I would venture off to say that most people have this north to where they know what they will do and what they won't do.
Right.
The moment you sacrifice that, and you got to keep on sacrificing that,
there it is,
and doing something that is completely out of character and out of your direction, my dude, you're going to be fucked up. There's no way you're not going to be a miserable person. I don't even care if you're a billionaire.
Yeah. And I think there's a difference between selling your soul and just signing a bad deal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because there are some deals that aren't beneficial to you, but in the long term will work out for your benefit. And it's just well, I got to do a little, give a little to get a little, and that's just the way it goes. That's legitimate. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's different when you say, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I'll do whatever to get this.
Yeah.
Once you express that sort of sentiment, it's it's open season on you. And if I were the person making that offer to you and I was going to benefit off of you being willing to do that, I'll give you whatever you want.
Yep.
What you want.
The highest bidder.
Yeah, because it's like at this point, it's like, man, what you want, dog? Like, I'll get it for you because I know you're willing to do whatever, and it's like now I literally own you.
And what you're willing to do, I'm not gonna do
I'm
gonna sit
never
back
have
from
to-
the sidelines. I don't gotta look like a bozo.
Yeah.
And you're
I
making
didn't
me
do it.
more
Yeah.
money than I even gave you.
I didn't have to do it.
Yup.
Yeah, I didn't have to do any of this shit
That's what
that
record
you're willing
labels
to do.
Exactly. And see, that's why I think exactly.
That's
But
what
I
any
think-
kind of employer will do.
I think yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And I think that's why it's easy to say that with the music industry because we see it play out in real time,
Yeah.
right? Especially, you know, in hip hop, we go back to the genre that we fucking all love, you know what I mean? Is it starts so early and a lot of us are from the streets. So we don't have money and we do have vices. I've said this 1,000 times. If I would have reached even remotely my level of success I'm at right now when I was a teenager, I would be dead.
Yeah.
Because I almost didn't make it out of my teenage years in the first place.
Yeah.
Mix that with money.
To
Yeah.
amplify
or
everything.
clout.
No, dog. Yeah, bro.
Because you might have
My
said the
dude,
wrong thing to the wrong motherfucker
I'd
just
have
thinking.
I'd have drank myself into fucking oblivion, bro.
Yeah.
I'd have taken all
Yeah.
of the pills, not just some of them, every single one of them, bro.
You guys would have amplified the fucking Vegas trips, like
Bro, crazy. That would have
would've
been
been
nuts. I'd have died in Vegas.
Yeah.
I would have never made it, bro. I'd have been like Nicolas Cage, bro. Leaving Las Vegas. Over there living in a Motel 6 with a fucking prostitute, bro. Drinking in the shower.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to go watch
It's
that.
classic.
Hey,
Classic.
have you seen the previews for the new Nicolas Cage movie? I'm not
No,
a big listen,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
I'm not a
Yeah,
big
no.
Nicolas Cage fan. Okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say that. Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
He's had a couple, you know,
Face
sleepers.
Off.
Face Off was cool,
Classic.
you know.
Yeah.
But he's got one now where I guess everybody in the world's like dreaming about him. He's in everybody's dreams.
Oh, really?
And he's like this middle-aged balding man. It looks really good, dog. It looks
Yeah.
super original, bro.
No kidding.
Man, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about Nicolas Cage. Oh, Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one of his movies that I fuck with.
Yeah.
Is Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a little depressing, but listen, sometimes you got to throw on the depressing movie. You got to throw on the depressing music, bro. Mm-hmm. It's vibes sometimes.
Sometimes. Not all the time.
No, just sometimes.
But you know what? It's good catharsis. I think that's really, really important. One of my favorite things to do now, every now and then on YouTube, is watch these like reaction videos where, especially my folks, watching like music that they've never heard of, like when they listen to like bluegrass or some other shit like
or like
that.
Metallica or some shit.
Metallica, when they get like into some Led Zeppelin or something, and they're like, "Holy fucking shit!" They don't realize, but it's like that stuff. It'll touch you just as much as anything else, and I love seeing people like rediscover stuff like that. Like that to me is awesome. I love that shit. I love that shit.
So if you haven't yet,
We should do.
go watch Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, rediscover
Yes.
it. It's funny you said that. Jay brought that up. He's like, well, we should do a reaction with Len Words. We throw on some Blink 182.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? See, again, who? What?
See?
Yeah, I'm good. You might not, bro. Watch. Len Words going to come in here next fucking pod in a skateboard or in a Vans shirt.
The hat backwards.
Talking about, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
We're going to do it.
Bumping some My Chemical Romance. when I
Listen,
pull them
bro. Sometimes, dog. Sometimes, bro. You got to throw that shit on, bro. My Chemical Romance has some slappers.
They did.
Len Words.
They had
Black
one.
Parade. Come on, bro.
I fuck with the White Stripes.
White Stripes, too? See, you
No,
fuck
I
with
know.
Blink then, bro.
No.
What
I
about
don't
What
know.
about Green Day?
There's a couple of Green Day records I fuck with.
Okay,
Like
okay.
yeah. There's for sure some.
I mean,
he's coming around.
You got to
He's coming
wake
around.
them up when
No.
September
my white
ends,
culture
my
is
dude.
solid, man. I'm on it. I'm
No.
just not deep
You
into
gotta
the
wake,
white
you gotta
culture,
wake,
man.
You gotta wake them up when September ends. Len Words. You know what I'm saying? Green
No,
Day.
what's the Green Day record that's like the graduation song?
Time of Your Life.
Yeah.
How does the words go?
That's
Come
one,
on,
yeah.
producer.
I think
Hope
you had the time of
Oh,
your
yeah.
life.
I
Yeah,
butchered
that's
it.
the white graduation song. And then we used to have I Believe I Can Fly. But y'all
Yeah.
took that shit from us.
Hey, don't point at me. I didn't take shit.
I think he took that shit from you.
Hey, that's
Some other shit too.
Hey, man, man. We're too far in the pod to jump in, but this is a good subject. We should probably circle back on, not just Robert,
The event
not
records.
just the event, but we're gonna give you a preview of episode 47 right now. You know what I'm saying? When do they go too far and you can't separate the art from
the
the
artist?
artist. Not now. On episode
Okay,
47.
I won't get into it. I won't get
Yeah,
into
because
it.
it's a good one.
Okay.
What is the straw that breaks the camel back?
So anybody who's this deep in the podcast, throw it in the comments and give us some ideas about what you think is when an artist has gone so far that it's like can't come back from it.
Can't separate
Yeah,
the art.
because we were gonna talk about this. I don't think we're gonna have any more time, but we were gonna talk about this when it comes to comedians.
Oh, but man, see,
But
yeah.
we'll say that for next week.
next pod.
Next pod.
On that note, y'all ready to get the fuck up out here, fellas?
Yeah. Let's go.
Until next time, respect the connect. Peace.
Peace.